What if your connection to the spirit world was closer than you think? What if your unique way of seeing the world is the key to connecting the two worlds? Welcome to a Sanctuary for the Soul podcast. Join us as we delve into the heart of spiritual development, from the practical guidance and mediumship to the best way to live a heart-based life.
We are here to facilitate healing, awaken your intuition, and help you navigate your path with confidence. Speaking from our own deep journeys, we've learned to experience the world and the spirit world with a unique sensitivity. This is our space to share that perspective with you. Let's explore the connection together.
So, welcome back, everybody. And today we're going to be talking about the importance of community, and I think the best way to put it is spiritual friendship. So, Andy.
Yes.
Depth. Tell me about the need for depth.
The need for depth. What if you're a deep sea diver?
Yeah, that's valuable.
If you're a deep sea diver, you do need a lot of depth to you. That's really important. Otherwise, you'll be diving into sand.
Yeah.
That would make your job terrible. But if we're talking spiritual depth, I kind of think I crave it. I think I crave spiritual depth. What I want, just from my perspective, I think what I want is I want to have like a deep dive into the subject, into the philosophy, into the perspective, and I want to share my understanding. I want to know what other people think. I want to respond to their questions. I find shallowness of understanding quite difficult to deal with, I'd say.
Yeah.
Because I kind of feel like it's like you like what I like, but you don't really like it enough for my liking. Does that sound terrible to say that?
No, because I'm on the same page.
Yeah. So what do I think about depth? I don't think I could be happy in any career choice or situation without feeling there was a sense of depth to the character of the person that I'm interacting with. I just really want to explore whatever it is, the subject or the perspective, until I feel like I really understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does. And for me, I was thinking as well about that relational experience.
Okay.
I think, it's well known that I'm not great at small talk. I can do it if I'm really pushed,
Okay.
but I'm not good at small talk. I want to know, how are you? I want to know, how are you really? I want to know what makes your heart sing. I want to know, what are your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, what's held you back. And not everybody wants to go there, do they?
They don't. Also, you nicked my phrase. What makes your heart sing? Well, you nicked their phrase. You nicked my spirit guy's phrase. He uses that. He says it.
Does he?
Yeah. What makes your heart sing? When someone
Yeah.
says, "Well, what should I do with my life?" And if we're doing trance, and he's speaking with me through me, he'll say, "You do what makes your heart sing."
Yeah.
I think there's a great truth in that, isn't there? And this is, I guess, why we do it. But I'm slightly detracting. But I think if you're speaking to someone and there's a degree of depth to them, then I think I think you become aware of the essence of them
Yeah.
to a greater degree. It doesn't feel like you're talking to a person with, you know, this or that name.
Mm.
You're talking to someone and you're kind of thinking, right, reveal everything
Mm.
that you know about this or that you think about that.
Yeah.
Um, because I guess what we're looking to is we're looking to have a connection with the person and to feel like it's a meaningful experience whereby
Absolutely.
um,
Mm.
you're gaining something from it, but also they're gaining something from you.
Yeah.
So there's like a flow of energy backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah. And you know what? For a while, I thought, is this need for deep conversation and deep relational experience? I thought for a while, is this because of what's happened to me in the past, or and this will make you laugh. It showed in my astrology that it was part of me, that for me was a relief, because we can make a joke about my love of astrology in a minute, but I think when I read that, and it was part of what's written in the stars in terms of who I am, and just reading that there, it was such a healing experience for me.
You do love your astronomy, don't you? What I've noticed is Mercury has a lot to answer for. You're constantly swearing about Mercury.
Mercury retrograde.
It's
Yeah.
doing retrograde stuff and God knows what else. Poor old Mercury. It's like the black sheep of the star family, isn't it? Or the planets. No, it's not a star,
Well,
it's a planet, isn't it?
yeah, it's not all bad. If we slow down during a retrograde, then generally we benefit. It's if we try to continue at the speed we're used to.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we digress.
Well, you. All right, maybe me a little bit. Um, I lost my train of thought. Where were we going?
Yeah, so that that relational depth, that conversation, of things you're passionate about, and you want to be able to express that at that depth with somebody.
Yep.
And
Um,
that's what community the community that we're trying to create is all about.
well, I think it's like being quite clear about what type of person you are, or what you love, what your passion is, and then saying to people, "This is us." And if
Mm.
you feel like we might be your kind of person,
Mm.
then join us.
Yeah.
This is what we love. This is our background. This is our passion. And
Mm.
then say to people, what we want is we're not trying to convert you to say, look, you need to be a member of our fan club and just, believe
No.
everything that we believe. But what we are saying is we want to create an opportunity for you to feel that you can find some depth both to yourself and your own journey,
Yeah.
but then to kind of connect with people that are like you, so that you say to them, well, you're not the only one that wants um, to learn or to understand many
Mm.
different subjects or perspectives. We want you to know that you're safe to have your opinions,
Yes.
within the community that we want to create for people. And
Mm.
that it's not superficial. We're not just saying we'll come in and we'll teach you this and then go away. We want you to know that there's an opportunity to really search deep,
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
about what you think about things.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest about, how maybe you're held back or how you want to move forward and to gain advice and
Mm.
but we keep it lighthearted. People
Mm.
will hopefully have got the impression that we don't take ourselves too seriously. Oh, I certainly don't. I mean, it's because I think learning and community should be fun. It should be
Yeah.
lighthearted. There shouldn't be a sense of,
Mm.
oh, we're the bosses and you're the attendees or the students. We want you to kind of say, look, this is what we're teaching. This is what we love.
Mm.
If you feel it's your bag, then join us.
Yeah.
And know that, we're not going to be, waving our finger at you and saying you must believe everything that we say and our truth
Oh,
is the
definitely not.
truth. I mean, that would make me sick. I would
No,
hate that.
well, really, we're all about everybody strengthening their own individual
Yeah.
perspective, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. But because what we want to say to people is listen to what we have to say.
Mm.
Do listen and do think about it and be thoughtful. And then if after that you think to yourself, "Do you know what, it doesn't really feel like that's me. That perspective or that exercise or that opinion,
Mm.
that's fine.
Mm.
We want you to have that individuality, but every individual needs someone to support them.
Yeah, and
That's it.
on that note,
Yep.
what would you say you have gained from experiencing, the right community for you, or that deeper relational experience? What would you say you've really gained from that?
I've I've gained so much
Mm.
from having. I think confidence is probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
There's been people along the way that have kind of not took me to one side, but they've been really supportive in saying,
Mm.
you know, your understanding, can be improved, by let's consider this perspective. I mean, not
Mm.
verbatim, but there's been lots of opportunities where maybe I haven't understood my path forward, or I
Mhm.
haven't understood the experiences that I was having in a spiritual mediumistic sense.
Yeah.
And there's been wonderful people along the way, people like Steve, people like Jan, and many others, including yourself, because obviously you've approached your connection to me from a very different point of view. I've only ever spoke to other people that were what I call spooky people. All right, so they're
Mm.
mediums or teachers in that manner. Um, but then you're like a hybrid, aren't you? Because you're like me and you understand everything that I'm talking about and you practice it yourself. And yet you're highly educated from another perspective, which actually gives you a greater advantage because you understand maybe um, with greater clarity the reasons that I might, let's say, I couldn't open myself up to the loving experience of connecting to spirit.
Yeah.
And we could say, oh, that's because, they didn't come close enough or something. I hear
Mm.
lots of weird and wonderful reasons why they didn't connect. But a lot of that can be that if we have on a psychological level, an emotional level, if we have always held people at arm's length, so to speak,
Yeah.
then what is to say that that won't also be the case when we're connecting with spirit?
Yeah.
So we have to look at the areas within our whole life and to say, here's a piece of paper, here's a pencil. I want you to
Mm.
write down all of the areas that maybe you struggle with, or that
Mm.
maybe you don't feel confident in, or write down the reasons that you feel you couldn't fully give yourself to the experience of connecting, in my case, to spirit. All
Mm.
right. And there will be things, experiences that have happened that will cause you to say, well, this has happened and I don't feel I can fully commit to that connection because,
Yeah.
I don't have that trust, because some people
Yeah.
have led um, very difficult, had very difficult
Mm.
experiences. And as teachers or tutors or mentors or whatever we are, I don't think we can ever lose sight of that fact, and which is why, you know, I try to be as mindful as I can and say, I need to see beyond the name on the screen. I need to look at that person and think, what is it I really need to do to make a difference to them. All right? I'm not a savior. I'm not trying to heal everyone, and I'm not trying to make you like me. But I am trying to see beyond the name on the screen to give you the best experience that I can. And so I think there have been people that have been, almost like signposts on the journey. They've given me direction. They've supported me. They've encouraged me. They've shared with that mindset of what I think unconditional love is. And there has been that sense of togetherness and support. And this is why, as we move forward and we become the teachers and the mentors, why we must always have that in our mind, I feel. And because I'm incredibly grateful for those experiences. And therefore, the onus is on me now to also provide that opportunity to others.
Yes.
Because we want people to move forward and to love what they do and to see the ability within themselves and let us help them realize it. Bit of a long answer there, but
makes sense though.
yeah, of course it does. It's me. It always makes sense.
I think there's nothing better than when you've supported a group or worked with a group for a weekend or whatever it might be, and you can see some of the barriers have come down. They've started to have really good experiences with one another. They're exchanging emails, mobile numbers. They're already talking about and I think there's nothing better than seeing that, because there's something so valuable as a human being in being truly seen by other people and being understood, and knowing that there's a real connection in terms of what you believe, how you view the world, how you experience the world, and that sense of community that I feel is so important to cultivate, because it was what I was missing for so long. I think is one of the most important parts. The sessions we're guiding, and the importance of holding the right environment, but actually helping to cultivate that sense of community, I think, is one of the most important parts.
I think is beautiful, and you've raised lots of really good points, and you're talking about stuff that I watch you do in the sessions that I share with you. That sense of guiding from a place of love is as obvious as the nose on your face. So it's really good. You always see there's always a very positive energy to the space when you're working in it. But when you're thinking about the journey and kind of navigating the journey as you go forward, how important do you feel it is to be honest about how you feel about the path and what you're experiencing in the teaching? Do you think we should assume that the mentor or the tutor knows better? Should we speak up when it comes to not agreeing maybe with the perspective?
Yeah. And I would like to think that people were always able to ask us questions in that way. And I really hope that I always maintain an environment where that is possible. Because I've had experiences where that wasn't possible. And, it wasn't good. And I think it goes back to something we've said before, that a lot of the way we run things is because of the experiences we've had. And it's like, right, I'm not going to do it that way. That didn't work for me. That didn't feel good. So in a way, some of those more challenging group experiences have taught me quite a lot.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think you are often a result of the experiences you've had.
Yeah.
So we gravitate away from negative experiences and we can take on board aspects of the positive. But when you're kind of thinking about the responsibility that we hold with, students, how available do you think we should be to them, when they have questions? Should there be boundaries between, here's a learning time, here's a time for reflection, and here's times, when we're available to answer those questions? How important are the boundaries?
Very important. I think also so that we are the best we can be. Having that space and time to just, reconnect with ourselves in between is really important. So I always maintain there's this time, and then there's time to actually just go and be quiet when, we're the ones providing the session. And I would always respect that, with anyone else's session that they were running. I think if you're always available and always on, then you run the risk of not staying in your own centre and not staying in your own heart. Especially as sensitive, attuned, empathic people, it's really important that we are very much in our own energy and in our own hearts so that we can be the best for those people that are coming to our sessions.
So if someone comes to our session and we share a perspective or a point of view, and the person listens to it and they don't agree, what should they do?
Talk about it.
Yeah. Do they need to change their mind to agree with our perspective?
Definitely not.
No.
Definitely not. Because that's what makes the world go round, isn't it? Like having your own individual perspective and, your own. We'll make suggestions on, how to engage with this particular practice or how to, work with your spirit guides or how to, connect in a shamanic way. But we would always encourage, wouldn't we, for that individual to, make their own decisions in what works for them. And the same goes with the philosophy of life, really.
The reason I say it is that I know that's not always been the case in a good number of the experiences that I've had, from a learning experience. It has very much been, this is, what the truth is.
No.
So, listen to what we're saying because this is it. So there hasn't been that feeling of leeway, and
Okay.
that hasn't resonated with me, at all. And I find this almost like sometimes the teaching can be habitual in the sense that the person teaching teaches what the person that taught them teaches them, who teaches what the person that taught them teaches them. So actually,
Yeah.
there's not a sense of independence of thought. There's a sense that, well, this is what has always been said, so therefore that must be the truth now. And I think
Okay.
you've always got to question it and say, well, hang on a minute. Just because someone has always said that this is what the truth is, does that mean it always has to be that way? Does that mean that they're right? And so if you don't agree with, with what either myself or you say, then they're right to do that,
Yeah.
because you need to have that sense that maybe that person causes you to reconsider why you say what you say. And we
Yes.
must always be ready to at least consider, the other points of view, because, folks are clever, and they have points of view and perspectives, and,
Well,
we welcome that, I think.
I would actually, that's made me think about some of the most valuable, if we're going, it's a bit cliche, but spiritual friendships. Okay,
Yeah.
some of the most valuable spiritual friendships that I have been lucky enough to have actually been people who've come to my sessions, who over the years I've got to know them, week in, week out, and they've ended up being some of the most important and valuable friends that I have, and I completely value their ideas on things. You know, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, have you, you know, what about this?" Or so I absolutely agree with what you're saying, and would never see it in any other way.
Yeah. So do people really have to be mediumistic to be spiritual?
No,
Not in a million years. It's crazy, isn't
no.
it? So
And not everyone that comes to our sessions is mediumistic.
yeah, they don't want to be part of the woo-woo world. They just want to, connect to the other stuff.
Yeah.
We're not all sitting there with our, crystal balls and a little black headscarf on, going, "Is there anybody there? Is there anybody there?" No, we're not doing that. Sometimes we're exploring like the depths of human understanding and support and being compassionate. And if
Yes.
someone's going through a tough time, give them your time. That is
Yeah.
spiritual. That's
Mm,
spirituality. Give
mm,
that person your time because they need it. Do it. Just do it. That's
mm.
it. It's not something you learn, it's something that you are.
Yeah.
So be
Yeah.
it.
So
So
becoming.
it is the becoming, isn't it? So we had a bright idea.
We did.
We did have a bright idea. And our bright idea
Mm,
was that we want to do a once a month Sunday sanctuary.
yes.
And it's going to be from 6:30 till 7:15 thereabouts once a month. And the first one's going to be on November the 30th. So as you listen to this podcast, it will be 2 weeks today.
Yeah.
Now, why don't you tell everyone what the idea behind it is then, Liz?
So coming along once a month,
Yep.
online will give you an opportunity to, I suppose, just have a bit of a taster of what it's like to work with us.
Yeah.
It will support you to engage in that community experience. And you know, every Sunday that we run it will be different. We'll be inspired in terms of what we feel is right on the day.
Yep.
So it might be, you know, some practices to bring you into the heart, calm the nervous system, help you reconnect with yourself, and you know, it might be other things in terms of understanding energy or that connection to spirit guides. But it will just give people a sense of what it's like to work with us, and
Yeah.
you know, we'd like to offer this, wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And just repeating everything that you've said, it's kind of about giving you a little taster. What's it like to work with Liz and Andy? All
Yeah,
right. So obviously it's going to be just 45 minutes
yeah,
of just a little insight and to give you a little peek into the world that we occupy.
yeah,
Because, maybe you need that opportunity to kind of, get a real sense of what we like when we're teaching. The answer is not much different to now. So I ain't going to disappoint you. All right. So we're very much as we are now, but we take it seriously what we do. All
mm,
right. We love what we do and we're passionate about getting people to be part of the community that we want to build,
mm,
to kind of say to you, look, here's a space for you.
mm,
What we're going to offer you is the opportunity to be yourself, the opportunity to learn the spooky world, as I call it, the opportunity to work with the shamanic and the energy world and your academic background.
mm.
Because working on all of the aspects that Liz and I both teach, it is going to give you a broader, a deeper, and a more thorough understanding of what we can do to make the best connection possible. Whether
Yeah,
that's to the spirit world, whether it's to your friends and loved ones, whether it's just to the world around you, in order for you to navigate life with greater confidence and love and ease. That's what we want. So you don't have to want to be a medium.
no,
If you say to us, I just want to be able to live life with greater sense of purpose, then I
yeah,
think we're offering that opportunity too, aren't we?
mm,
So if you go to our website, we will have, and that's a sanctuary for the soul, we will have a Zoom link. Now, you will need to email to register that you want to join because we don't want any undesirables in the sense of some of the people that have tried to join and
yeah,
start start having rather random conversations because they're kind of doing a bit of a thing.
They
So
haven't got a lot to do.
they haven't got a lot to do, bless them. And those two brain cells were frantically at work trying to disrupt one of our sessions before. And so please do come and register your interest. And then once you've registered your email with us and we know who you are, then we will send you the link to join the class. And so that's going to be November the 30th at 6:30 p.m. Obviously, those are all UK times. So it's just 45 minutes of your time on a Sunday evening. Anything else we need to add there, Liz?
No, I think that's perfect.
I think it is. So, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. And we hope you're enjoying the podcast. And we'd love to hear your ideas, your thoughts, your comments. But thank you so much for your support. Catch you next time.
Thank you.